Dolph, real life, he fell back from everybody in CMG, all because he felt that Gotti and Big Jip, he loaned Big Jip money, and by him loaning Big Jip money, he felt that by him loaning Big Jip money is like he was giving the female some money. And y'all already know how that go when you got money and you in the hood. A lot of people don't really pay attention to that, but in all actual reality, we can really look at it for what it is, and we can really see the fact that Young Dolph, he told these people, man, y'all better fall back, cause I ain't finna let y'all take me out the game like that. That's why he brought Marcus Thorne with him. Y'all gotta understand, man, Marcus Thorne was right there when it happened.
Exactly, and that's what made them get scared, is because when they saw Marcus Thornton, they didn't think that Dolph was gonna come there with somebody else. They thought they had cut the phone lines in the service of everybody else that Dolph was gonna call. That's why when he said that to ride with Glock, he told them clearly to their face, and people did not listen. That's why people have to pay attention and look at the fact that he wanted them to be riding with Glock in case he called Glock. It's gonna be two people that pull up, because it's two people that came to the window, and none of this is everything that's being told by the cookie manager is not accounting for the fact that the windows got blown out before the two guys came out that vehicle and escaped. Nothing is going to go back and prove that. That's why they want to see the actual evidence from the operation that was going on. If they don't have the body cam there to show the fact that the person there first responded seen that Dolph was still moving, and the fact that he was trying to tell them who was the people that did this. He said, look at the person behind me. He was trying to let them know and point that it was inside the store. That's the only reason why
Blac Youngsta told them, y'all can't come in here. He ain't let Gotti and them in BGE studio, y'all. Y'all gotta really understand. He instantly, he brushed him right off. He instantly told Gotti that you don't never tell nobody who you working for. Like, at the end of the day, you gotta really understand what's really going on, because that was a strategic move in the way that he was rubbing his face with his shirt. Y'all already know he ain't want him in there. And hey, I want y'all to really understand what's really going on.
Exactly. The only reason he would be rubbing his face with his shirt is if he ran out the back of the cookie shop. Whoever was that guy that actually ran past 901 Trick or Treat car and got stopped at the car wash directly across the street from MPD, that's the same person who was wiping their face with the t-shirt. But at that point, he threw the t-shirt in the bushes. When they recovered the 11 items that was related to Young Dolph and had the hounds sniff it out, they matched that Chrome Heart bag to 11 different items that was scattered throughout Memphis, including the jewelry and the fact that his teacher was the one that came out and said that it was an identical match. They looked at the fact that this didn't happen too far from the Makedas, and everybody running from that gas station knew one thing for sure, was that to get this on footage. Because if you know anything about places like where Makedas is, they don't keep cameras there for a reason, in case anything is on them. You gotta understand that down in the South, places like over there in Texas, when they keep it on them and they have to blow back, there's no way that they can prove the defense if you in the wrong and that you got the cameras. Now you can say anything that you want. It could be a situation where somebody could come in and you might have been the person that started it, and the fact that there was no cameras to show that it wasn't actually happening like that, they had to take your word for it, because sometimes when the police report come out and they got the manager there to sign off on it, they know that that's the official witness.
Paper Route Wu told Snoop Bands, boy, we gonna split Young Dolph bread 1.2 million a piece, and then we gonna take the other 4 million and we gonna dump that into the label. Like, they started their own label. I want y'all to really pay attention to what's going on, because me and Jay already said all Young Dolph assets gonna get splitted up. It's gonna get splitted up to Snoop Bands, Glock, Big Moochie Grape, and y'all already know the top op, Paper Route Wu. Paper Route Wu was the main one who they said was there. I don't know where Paper Route Wu was, but they said Big Jip truck was across the street. They said that straight dropping Cornelius Smith, they was right there hopping out the Benz coupe. y'all gotta understand, man. Y'all gotta really look at what's going on, because these same people who said that the brown truck that 901 Trigger Trey drive was across the street. Y'all gotta really pay attention to that, because in all actual reality, the feds, when they come get you, they don't play no games, man. When you out in the streets and you doing what you doing, man, they don't play no games, man. In all actual reality, we can really look at it for what it is and take full heed to the fact that Big Moochie Great, he supposedly, quote unquote, trailed Young Dolph. And a lot of people say, yeah, we saw Big Moochie Great. He was in that Tahoe, and then he hopped in the car with Young Dolph after they pulled up to Roof Chris.
And Mia J, she tried to do everything that she could to stop the two guys before they left Memphis. But the fact that I want to thank Mia J for everything that she did, because if Young Dolph is going to be remembered for anything, it's going to be that he was trying to provide for his family, and he was paying for a lot of people's bills. Like, he was taking care of half the city of Memphis, and the fact that Mia J stood tall through this, and she tried to tell Paper Raul to basically go ahead and turn himself into the fact that he has to tell what he saw. If he was in the back of the car that was following Dolph, then you know that you actually seen what was happening in front of him. Just because somebody was catching a ride and they wasn't involved in anything that was going on, doesn't mean that they had their eyes closed and didn't see what happened.
And we already know for a fact, CMG, they already got raided once, they got raided a second time, and they didn't find nothing. Y'all gotta understand, them feds ain't playing no games, because Glorilla, she already revealed everything about Yo Gotti. She revealed Yo Gotti, he was out there with them people, boy. He was at Privé, man. And they already said that it pinged his T-Mobile phone. Y'all gotta understand, he got an iPhone 13 at the time. They pinged his phone, man, and it went straight to Privé. And that's all, like in all actual reality, that's his people shop, man. And Big Jook, that's where they picked Big Jook up at.
Exactly. When Big Jook got picked up, the person that got dropped off, that's when they seen Young Dolph. And this didn't happen too far from where the gas station was. The person on Facebook that recorded the video, they know something weird was going on when the fact that the guys who was yelling at Young Dolph trying to get his attention, but as soon as Dolph turned his head, they hid behind the tent. That's why when they took that snapshot, Young Dolph was looking over his shoulder, because he knew somebody was about to get him. And within at least 24 hours from that moment on, they know it was the final hours. And that's why a lot of people knew that. They seen the ticker tape at the bottom of the news that was explaining the full story, but they didn't want to put it out there. Jeremy Pierre was the only person in charge of this whole entire investigation on this, and that's why a lot of people was looking at him like, why hasn't it been complete yet?
And a lot of people not paying attention to the fact that the feds released the evidence already, and Mia J, she wasn't too happy about what she seen. They said in the unsealed document, Key Glock was the main one who real live put the GPS device on Young Dolph car right there under the tire wheel. Y'all gotta really understand, it's all metal right there, man. He got all bulletproof, man. And when anything bulletproof is metal involved, y'all gotta really look at what's going on, man. And the way the magnet work, it instantly sticks to any surface.
And if y'all know anything about how they try to do the GPS with the cars, you know that's how the repo man ends up finding the whole thing. The repo man is undefeated in the hood. That's why you got people chasing after him, jumping on cars and sitting in the car seat and everything while the dude is taking him down the street. They only need 2.7 seconds to hook and unhook and take everything away. That's why people park backwards and sideways and turn their wheels. But now they got technology and mechanisms that you can put on the car tire to straighten the wheels out. That's why they chose the wheel well for Dolph in the back. It's rear wheel drive. They know the back tires is gonna be hot and the GPS is gonna be heat resistant to the cold. The fact that that's how the tow truck got there so quick. They pulled the car out the lot before they even got Young Dolph into the ambulance to get him out of there, because everybody seen and was reporting that video of the car going by, and who knows how they got that back, because the only person with the ID and the registration to Dolph car would be Dolph. So how did they get that at the junkyard? How did they get it at the impound if Dolph ID and registration isn't there? That's why when the reports came out, you could go back and binge watch this. When they found Dolph's wallet in the bushes and they already had the spare key, that's all they needed to go up there to the actual impound junkyard and get it out of there. Because the people behind the counter, they don't know that Young Dolph's real name is with Thornton at the end.
You feel me? Adolph. People already know how Adolph was rocking. And Adolph, he realized, y'all can't even lie, man. He helped a lot of people in Memphis. And Yo Gotti, they said that, y'all already know, they said that Mia J, she was the main one who tried to keep her distance from anybody who was basically hanging out with them, man. And y'all already know who I'm talking about, man. Raven them, man. Y'all don't want nobody who been in 901 Trick or Treat garage. Y'all don't want nobody who rode past their house. None of that. She ain't want none of them around, man. And this would keep Key Glock out of harm's way. A lot of people said that Key Glock, he been taking trips in it. Key Glock been going out of state. He been going to Miami for spring break. Y'all gotta understand what's really going on, because he trying to stay out of the limelight of the hood.
And when Mia J tried to warn Young Dolph about the fact that her sister Michelle J was actually hanging out and shopping with Angela Simmons. They went to Privé together. And all of them, the fact that Moneybagg Yo and Yo Gotti, they got the Privé, they got the restaurant, the Cash 42 and everything like that, with 42 Doug at busting the tables and everything and getting everything moving like that. So the fact that they had those, the only place Dolph could go to was the Makedas, because he knows that he done had to actually make it a whole charade and disguise it with the high prices and everything. And so that's why Yo Gotti and them never went there, because they didn't want to be shopping nowhere that you could buy things for $2 to $3. And it's rare to find anything right now. With gas prices being at $9 an hour, the people who was following Young Dolph had to be committed to this whole entire thing. It was transactions that was already seen when the fact that Govan was wired $90,000 to take the bond out. And they found that the same ending 4 digits to that same wire was the same one that sent the $40,000 that Grove Hero discovered Big Juke put on all their heads. And they was collecting a ransom for every PRE chain. That's why when OG Bangwang came out, he went to the bulletin board. The first thing that he did when he pulled out on 7th Street and he seen the fact that the people was hanging out there, they said that they wanted $10K for every PRE chain, because Johnny Dang was giving out a good deal on gold at that time. All they had to do was get a $175 flight to Houston. And as soon as they checked in with Jay Prince, everything was good to go for them to go take them chains down to Johnny Dang and smelt it down. One thing you gotta understand is that Young Dolph left $1 million worth of jewelry to Big Moochie Grape, Snoop Bands, Key Glock, PRE Woo, Bankroll Freddy. And you know, a lot of people saying that the Rico on Bankroll Freddy was the reason why they was really looking into CMG, because they know who he was involved with. At this point, when business is business, it don't matter what side you on. Everybody knows that when it comes to getting money, that you have to put all that to the side. And so the fact that they seen and they put him on the actual tape going and into CMG, and they got him on the sting operation, that's how they took that whole thing down. And I want to say that to the family and everything like that, thank you for trying to help with the whole thing with Dolph, because at this point everybody knows that the justice of Dolph is coming. When this trial comes out and Key Glock gets there and he's gonna take the stand to actually say what he did and didn't know about the situation with the music video, everybody gonna have to face the truth at some point and realize that they're gonna ask them why they did not show up to the music video. And they want to make sure that the first interview matches up with the second interview. That's how they caught the Makedas people in the whole spinoff about the fact that it was outside the store, and that Maurice was there and Maurice wasn't. The fact that if Keosha James wasn't there, we would have never known that Lincoln was in the corner of the parking lot the whole time. everybody was taking a picture in front of the Makedas store, standing in the middle of the parking lot. If you would have took 4 steps back, you would have ran into the Lincoln. It's 20 feet long. How could anybody have missed that? And the fact that they try to say that Maurice was part of the Dolph case is strange. It's strange to think that. Why would the man say that he was walking in through the back of the store when we seen him exiting through the front? And when they talked to him on the sidewalk, who was he on the phone with at that point? Because if they didn't hit the button, what's the point of him having to call in and ask them to send more units if one hasn't arrived yet? The fact that Dolph artists didn't actually get hit up until after Key Glock came around is a warning sign to the fact that PRE needs to get everything straightened out with CMG, Gotti, and Blac Youngsta. Because right now, they looking at him right now. They on the same black and white paperwork with Govon's name underneath them as a co-defendant.
And everybody knows for a fact that they under investigation. And MPD, they already told them what they saw. They already told them what they saw on that footage before Makeda Raven them sold it. And y'all gotta understand, they sold that footage to them people, boy. They sold them footage to Big Juke, and Big Juke he got it up out of there. He had it on a hard drive, and then he got it up out of there. He ain't want nobody finding that because everybody already know for a fact Makeda Raven them, they had access to the back of Makeda's where the camera was, and the camera was at the front of the door. Y'all gotta understand, that camera that was outside that saw straight drop there running up, but didn't see young Dolph laying on that floor. Y'all gotta really understand, man. This is something that you all really gotta pay attention to and open your eyes to, man, because Glorilla is the main one who told PRE Woo, man, why would you pull up like that, man? You know for a fact that Mud Baby Ray don't play no games, man. I'ma just say that. You know Mud Baby Ray gonna ride with Dolph regardless, man. RP Dolph, man. At the end of the day, we know for a fact Dolph is the main one who sit back. He take care of his business. He do what he gotta do, man. And Dolph know for a fact PRE, they still gonna do what they gotta do as long as Big Moochie Great don't realize, like, get taken out the game, man, because the way that he beefing in his own hood, you can't beef with your own hood, man. You cannot beef with your own hood and still live in the hood, because the same people, they gonna backdoor him. Like, at the end of the day, Blac Youngsta, he had his mouth open on this one, man. His mouth dropped on this one because he didn't think that PRE Woo was gonna do that.
And they were saying way back in the day that Young Dolph was gonna be the biggest thing in Tennessee since Elvis Presley. And that's why Yo Gotti wanted to really get him under CMG. He brought Jay-Z in, he flew him in from the Bronx to actually get him to sit down. But the fact that Young Dolph knew what he knew he was gonna be the next person up there, like as big as Jay-Z. And so the fact that people don't like the fact that you look at it and they came down and Yo Gotti and Jay-Z really thought that they was gonna have everything go as planned, but Yo Gotti did not mention the fact that he did not get full authorization from Big Juke and CEO Daddy-O to actually go and sit down and try to say that to Dolph. When Blac Youngsta came out, it was a whole thing about how he had 23 different disses on Dolph right from the jump, and that's why Yo Gotti signed him. And they didn't understand that this all has connection to the fact that Key Glock at the time was around and he was really beefing with Lil Migo. And so when they picked him up, they knew that this was a full out versus battle in Memphis over who was gonna be the next big thing. And I don't blame Young Dolph for trying to stand up and actually take Big Moochie Great and everybody like Key Glock out of that situation, because one thing you gotta understand is that they don't want to get in the mix of this whole thing. Makedas is supposed to be a neutral ground. They was uninvolved with everything, but as soon as Makeda's Raven stepped up and said that she declared with CMG and now the one Trigger Trey picked a side, that's when they knew it was going to be a moment of days before everything came out. The first place Finesse 2 times went to pay his respect was at the Dolph mural. And then the next day, somebody came and painted it all over with gray and signals.
And we know for a fact that Finesse 2-time brother, No Love, he the main one who told Lil Baby, you better stay away from everybody who in PRE, man, because Lil Baby was trying to do a feature with Big Moochie Great, and And this is why Big Moochie Great had the feud with them. Y'all gotta understand they had their own beef, and I don't understand why they can't keep beefing like that. When in all actual reality, okay, y'all PRE, man. They CMG. Can't get mad at that, man. Like at the end of the day, you really gotta pay attention to that, because in all actual reality, this is a revolving door, and we have to really understand that. You gotta open your eyes to the fact of what's really going on, man. These people sit back looking at the fact that Big Moochie Great, he is not in the right position to realize go out there and do nothing to Govan when he know Govan just got out. These people can't sit back and do that. Like at the end of the day, a lot of allegations was on them people, boy. And the people is Moneybagg, yo, supporting everything that went on with Big Juke.
And the fact that no major rapper has came to Memphis ever since Young Dolph, they think it's turning into a situation just like Jay Prince Jr., where now if somebody like Rollo, once Rollo gets out, him and Gucci Man gonna have to go to Memphis and straighten everything out for Big Scar, man. I want to send the condolences to Big Scar and his family and everybody tied in with that, because when somebody comes in, they're not gonna want to check in with Yo Gotti. They never had to do that before, and Big Juke does not have no type of pull anywhere in any other territory. So they know that everything is limited. Before the Rico comes out and they really get out there in the helicopters and Apaches and come out the storm drains and sewers to sneak up and actually round up all 57 members of CMG, they're gonna finally have to actually get there, and we're gonna know who's gonna tell and who's not.
In all actual reality, we know for a fact that it's too many people who gonna snitch before anything, because they said Govan got locked up, the pressure bust the pipes. Next thing you know, Big Juke get locked up 2 days after Govan get booked. Man, you tell me, did he snitch or not? And this is coming straight from Mississippi, you guys.
And if ETSG, he on the feds already, so the fact that this Rico coming, I understand why he wanted to move back to Kentucky with his auntie, because he would have signed the 1017 if he would have known that the Rico was going to be coming about this, because it was on basically ETSG got signed right before the Dolph situation. And how you think that they had the money to do everything like that?
And we already know the real reason why Young Dolph, he never wanted to sign nobody from Memphis after he signed Big Moochie Great Cousin.
Because Big Moochie Great Cousin is the last person and the last final piece that they needed for the PRE collective. This was what's going to put everything into the whole entire Hall of Fame. And because
hey, welcome to the channel. Hey, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Hey man, they just ran up on Mud Baby Rue, man. Y'all gotta understand, the way that Yo Gotti hopped back in the car, y'all gotta look at the fact that he knew once dude hopped out the back seat, he unlocked the door, he run out the side. Buddy that was driving, he was bogus because he should have never left him. You never leave your homie when the ops pull up. You gotta really understand. Young Dolph was finna sign Mud Baby Rue, and Yo Gotti and them, they trying to knock everybody down who had something to do with the stuff around Young Dolph. Y'all gotta understand, Govan was the main one who even told Yo Gotti where they was. And this brings me back to Young Dolph, man. Hey man, I want y'all to throw in the comment section where y'all from, man. I want y'all to hit the like button. I want y'all to real live pay attention to what's going on, because this is something that we all can really take heed to, because the way that they just got down on Moneybagg, yo, Blac Youngsta, he ran. Y'all gotta really understand, man. And Mud Baby Rue, his cousin, he was the main one that got up out of there.
Exactly, and when Moneybagg Yo left Mud Baby Rue out that freestyle, that's when he knew that somebody had turned his back on him, because he was trying to make it out and have Gotti and them pick him up. But you see that Yo Gotti hasn't signed nobody in Memphis ever since Young Dolph left. It's point blank period that at this moment that every rapper in Memphis is looking to get a way out, and the only people that have a chance and a way to actually do that is not rocking with them anymore, man. I want to go ahead and send my condolences to Mud Baby Rue cousin and just let things be known that Snoop Man should have been there to help him that day. Because of the fact that when he ran and took off and tripped over the parking lot stump, he should have known that the guy was going to walk him down and stand over him. Snoop Fans could have saved him at that day because he was too busy messing around on the basketball court where he should have seen that Mud Baby Rue cousin Jug was going bad.
Mia J, she got 4 phone calls. Once she got them 4 phone calls, she jumped right up, left right out the door, hopped in Young Dolph G-Wagon. Y'all gotta really look at what's going on because it's all connected back to Makedas. And they already said that Govan, he told them people where Big Jook was. Big Jook was inside Privé when they called him. He told them exactly where Big Jook be. Right there in the back. Y'all know, if y'all ever been in Memphis and y'all been in Privé, you know you gotta walk down a long aisle and then you go to the right there by the back door, but you don't go all the way to the back. You look at where the eggs are sign at, and then you make the left at. Y'all gotta really look at that, man. Back there, that's where the office at. This is where everything goes down at. A lot of things really came across the feds, and the feds is looking at it like, hold on, we're gonna put these people in a blender, because at the end of the day, we know for a fact that Key Glock, he told them, this is around. Hey, look, it comes around. What goes around comes around. At the end of the day, man, I ain't gonna even sugarcoat it, because at the end of the day, we know for a fact of OG Bang Wang. He already told Buddy, like, boy, you better get back before I blow the Drake. Y'all gotta understand, he blew like 4 times, y'all. And this is something that we all can really pay attention to, because in all actual reality, they yellow tape that man. They yellow tape that man, sunk that man up at his untimely demise. And Mud Baby Rue, he already knew. He knew for a fact that he wasn't gonna sign the CMG. Why would he sign the CMG if he already know that Young Dolph already had him on a roster? He already was in the game. And me and Jay already told them, y'all bet nobody mess with him. At the end of the day, we know for a fact the connection between Key Glock and Blac Youngsta, but that ain't nothing that, you feel me? At the end of the day, don't nobody really care about that, because Young Dolph got sent up. And in all actual reality, this is something we can really put our eye on, because MPD, they told Key Glock, you gonna have to tell us something once the trial come around, when Straight Drop and Cornelius Smith, once they gotta make the plea, y'all. At the end of the day, somebody gotta take the stand, because they can't just get left out. It was a bench warrant on Key Glock, y'all. He had to talk to the people, man. Whenever you have a bench warrant, you go into a 4-2 conference. If you ever been booked before, and if you're from the hood, you go into a 4-2 conference, and then you talk to the judge. Next thing you know, Key Glock, he told them everything they needed to know. The footage, they already saw. Everybody that was out there. Key Glock wasn't by himself. You know, Key Glock always keeps security. And I'm trying to understand why Young Dolph ain't had Key Glock or Key Glock security with him. And Key Glock was with Young Dolph, and they had 1,000 guys around. 1,000, you feel me? It was a lot of them. It was a lot of them around. But then as soon as Young Dolph get away from Key Glock and he's somewhere else take care of some business, you feel me? He ain't really linked with Key Glock that day. Y'all already gotta understand, this is something Young Dolph should have already had down pat. Like, at the end of the day, RIP Young Dolph, because at the end of the day, we know for a fact that Key Glock, his security supposed to been with Young Dolph. Ain't no way he did all that for Key Glock and then the security didn't want to be with him. Come on now.
And why is it that nobody's talking about the fact that when Mud Baby Rue went up to the Makedas, that Big Jook came around the corner and pressed him and told him to not come around North Memphis, especially around Makedas, knowing the fact that in 3 weeks what was about to happen with Young Dolph was about to happen. And like, first thing is that we want to send the condolences to Young Dolph, because we know that everybody out there is trying to get justice for him, because at this point, people have to understand that it's already everybody in Memphis that's going against the grain when it comes to the fact that they was really supposed to sign with Dolph, but now Gotti don't want to get them out of that situation. And Key Glock's brother is sitting there looking at this whole thing like he tried to make it to where he was telling them he could come to the place across the street at the gas station, but when they heard the rounds going off and the 50 shots and everything like that, everybody was standing right there across the street, and that's for the first time when my baby Rue was talking and linked up with Key Glock, and they already know what's going down. They went to school with each other. Everybody there was in the class right there with Makedas, so they know when 901 Trigger Trey was saying that he declared he was trying to be a part of CMG.
The feds didn't want to conduct the search that they did. Y'all gotta really look at that, and the way that they bust in the concert, they had to conduct a finalized search. That's where they found the blickies. Y'all gotta really pay attention to what's going on.
And Blac Youngsta cousin was on Crime Stoppers. They got him out there with $1 million whole entire subpoena because of the fact that they know he had connection to Gotti and Big Juke's ties to the whole entire plan and plot operation that they discovered that they was doing.
Gotti didn't want to reply to nobody. At the end of the day, Gotti is the main one who pulled up and told everybody who was standing out there, y'all better not touch Mud Baby Rue. Y'all better not touch me. Hey, at the end of the day, boy, them was his people. That's why I said this is a whole charade of everybody was cool and now they fell out. It shouldn't have went down like that. That's why Young Dolph, he was the one that got caught up in the middle of it.
And when Big Moochie Gray pulled up with the East Haitians, they knew that they was rocking with Mud Baby from the first time. Look, all the Mud Babies out there, they rock with Trula. And Trula rocked the same way with them, but when they brought into the fact that Gotti and Blac Youngsta Getaway Driver actually ran off with the loot on them, everybody was hitting the lick at that point. You gotta understand that the bread was running dry. Once Memphis stopped getting the checks and everything like that, and they Makedas ran through all the business loans and all that, they realized the fact that they didn't have nothing left to do but what the setup was.
And we already know for a fact that the way that Yo Gotti told Blac Youngsta, he basically sent him a message. I'm just be straight up. He sent him a message, man. He told him, boy, you know who was out there. You better stay low key. You already know them people looking for you. And people realize, sit back and look at the fact that the bodyguard wasn't on point the way that they supposed to be on point. When we already know for a fact that these is the same people who told the manager, y'all better fall back, man, before I blow at y'all, man. And y'all already know the way that they pulled up, boy. They pulled up 8 deep. And this is something that everybody know. Blac Youngsta don't come nowhere by himself. Blac Youngsta is the main one who told Angela Simmons, regardless of me signed to Yo Gotti label or not, y'all not finna treat me like this.
And the only reason Makedas was working there was because she wanted to get the BBL. That's why she quit, because she saw everything that was going on, but her last day was the day that Dolph came in. She just happened to be there to open that backside door. There's no reason why they left it propped open overnight with the cold running like that. If they left the heat on, that's thousands of dollars going down the drain in business expenses, unless they knew that they was about to get the $875,000 plus a GoFundMe from doing this whole thing and hosting the operation. Gotti came and talked to them. Everybody knows the fact that the only reason that the two people from PRE went up there was to get the Dolph cookies so that they could go back to home base and tell them that if they was doing it as a diss or not. Because a lot of people thought that they was making it a new pack, but they know for a fact that Young Dolph did not give full approval to that. So when he went up to the cookie shop to get the record straight and clear the air about the Young Dolph cookie, they had the papers right there and the pen in Young Dolph's hand with his arm. That arm out the window had a pen in it. And a lot of people said that when the people that drove by, they seen the guy had pimples and that wasn't even clear if that was Dolph or not. But one thing is the fact that they wanted him to actually fill out the whole entire paperwork, put his initials there so that they'll continue and allow to sell the Dolph cookie. But as soon as he said no, that's when the person came out the back and told him to get on the ground. it made it look like somebody was sticking up the place, and that they came in with a heater of a brown paper sack over their head. Nobody knew what they had, so they hit the floor. That's why they told y'all that Dolph was on the ground. And remember, the first thing that they said when the investigator came up to them and asked why the person whose fingerprint that was, and Makedas came up and said her, they asked her what happened. She said it was inside the store. That's the stick up and the whole entire struggle, because the forensics came and found out that there was indeed a struggle on the inside that caused somebody to trip over a table. And the audio, when they came, the video was blurry because the plant was in the way, but the audio was clear that somebody broke the glass window.
Nobody even reached out to 901 Trick or Treat when he got hospitalized after Young Dolph got sent up, because I know for a fact why. And I'm gonna take a moment of silence for Young Dolph. Makeda Raven tried to keep her cool, y'all. Y'all gotta really understand this, man. And the way that they used to party when Young Dolph was around, Young Dolph had them. Young Dolph was throwing them back ends after back ends every moment. Y'all gotta really understand that. And we all can't forget the fact that Young Dolph was the main one who was coming there with no security. He wanted them people to realize, you feel me, take care of what they needed to take care of, and he come over there to shoot music videos, and then he leave. Makeda Raven now, they already know for a fact that Mud Baby Rue, he don't play no games, man. Y'all already know how shooters is, man. Shooters, they realize, they sit back, they watch, they realize, peep the scene, and then, as you can see, Key Glock was the main one who told Blac Youngsta before this even happened. He said, man, the only reason why I can't rock with you, man, is because Dolph here, man. So once Dolph got sent up, you mean to tell me Key Glock switched up? So Key Glock just sitting back, ain't trying to slide for nobody but Kenny Money, the only one that slid for him? In all actual reality, we know for a fact you can't do that. You can't sit there and not slide. If you was rocking with him, you gotta slide for him. Y'all already know that. And in all actual reality, we need to open our eyes to the fact that this is a revolving door, and a lot of people sit back and don't really pay attention. The time ticking. The time is ticking, y'all. And people realize they don't really look at the fact that Mia J, she the only one that realize gotta sit back and be like, you know what? I still gotta go around PRE, and then I gotta see certain CMG members when I go to the gas station, quote unquote. And I want y'all to understand this is coming straight from Memphis and Alabama. This is something we all gotta pay attention to.
Exactly, and the fact that Dolph was paying all of their bills, and they didn't do nothing about the fact that they took him out, man. And you know, it's like a lot of credit goes to Kenny Money for even stepping a foot on their block. Like, Yo Gotti's father answered the door for him when he came and door to door knocked on him and tried to tell him about, he came in and Kenny Money was in the whole khaki uniform with a John Morant jersey. One thing is that once they got into position, they knew that as soon as Dolph rode up there, it was all going to be going down. And so that's why Kenny Money understood the fact that he's going to have to go and actually pay tribute to this whole situation, because they, for $125K was the only thing in between him being able to make it out that situation or not. Mud Baby Rue is looking at the fact that, okay, even though he's the one that rides along and he's the hitter for the whole team, that they entrusted him to actually go actually make ties with OG Bangway so that they could get the get back. A lot of people wanted this stuff to stay into the streets, but it's spilling over the sides right now, and they don't want to have people that's actually tied up into this whole, situation. Like Young Dolph would have never wanted it to go this way. He would have wanted this to be quick and justice had to be done. Because if you really want to get down to it, is all you gotta say is that the money is what got him in the game, and the same exact money that gets you in the game is the same money that's gonna take you out the game. Because everybody knows that this had a big role to play in his downfall, and at this moment, it's super old, and so there's no reason for a lot of people to be thinking that his me and Jay and the rest of the family shouldn't deserve the money that's coming from the GoFundMe to the Makedas. Because the Makedas knew that it was a disrespect for putting the cookies out there with his name without asking him first. They know that Raven started off saying this thing and switched it to another thing. The people know that it was the thing. She was basically out there confusing the investigators, and they looking at it like they cannot trust her. So when they go to trial, they would not include the whole statement, so that everything is left open in the air. They're gonna have to go from the fact that what Marie said and what Marcus Thornton is basically their word against each other. And Dolph probably seen them at the gas station, and he turned into the Makedas knowing that he got the lock and the key to the safe room and that he could hide out in there. A lot of people, when they go into places and they get in buildings and real estate like Dolph was doing, they got panic rooms. They got rooms they go into for tornadoes out there in Memphis and West Arkansas. So when Mud Baby Rule saw that it was gonna be a storm that day, he came up to the Makedas looking for the person that did that. And the only thing that he found was the Bentley actually abandoned in the back parking lot. He seen the tire and it was covered up with a tarp.
Y'all gotta really look at that, because that's something we can really point. People point fingers at Raven. They already said in Memphis, Raven live brother-in-law, this is the main one who was right there when everything went on. Her brother-in-law lied, man. And I want y'all to really understand that. He lied on the mother, man. And then the mother lied, man. Like at the end of the day. Like, you can't sugarcoat it, man. Because all of them played a role and a part in this, man. People think that everybody who was out there, they already knew. Young Dolph wasn't supposed to be in that neighborhood. He already knew he was in tour with the people on the next block. That's why so many of the ops pulled up right when it happened. Once it happened, they already saw it. I believe everything that the person saying, I believe that what they saying in Memphis, man, I believe that it's true, man, because they in Memphis. And in all actual reality, a lot of people, they sit back, they making them stop everything that they got going on. And Moneybagg Yo just did an interview with the same dude that Key Glock did an interview with. And I don't understand how the ops can be in the room with the same dude. Like, he ain't gonna drop the low. This is why I always tell y'all, watch them when you in the hood, man. If you in the hood, man, you have to watch, man. Because you have to really pay attention to what's going on in all actual reality. A lot of people sit back, they don't pay attention to what's going on, man, until it's too late. Young Dolph already told Jay Fizzle, you better not never, don't ever tell Key Glock he can't come with you nowhere. You feel me? Y'all gotta ride together, man. That's why Kenny Money already told everybody in the clique, PRE, and y'all already know who Young Dolph Ops was, who his top ops was. His top ops was CMG, man. And if you ain't know, BGE ran with CMG and Heavy Count. But you can't really put a finger on Blac Youngsta because you didn't see his face, man. They said Blac Youngsta had a mask and he was inside Makedas after it happened. Y'all gotta really understand, man. This is something that we all can really take notes on, because a lot of people, they sit back, they don't really pay attention to the key facts. I think you can't really point a finger and say that Big Jook was the one did this. Govan already said that when they locked him up, he told them everything they needed to know. Once he told them that, that's where they came to the conclusion. Yeah, we'll lower his bond. We'll reduce the bond for one reason, because we know for a fact that Young Dolph, his people want justice for him. In all actual reality, the bottom line of everything, we have to remember the fact that Glorilla, she was the main one. She was looking like, you know what? I'ma sign for the money, but I ain't gonna get into what they got going on. This is why Govan instantly told Blac Youngsta, like, we not gonna even holler at PRE Woo Diddy about nothing that went on. And y'all know who PRE Woo Diddy is. That's Young Dolph. Y'all already know who put Young Dolph in the game. Y'all already know Daddy-O, PRE Woo Diddy. Y'all already heard what happened to BGE. Hey, BMG. Y'all already know who he is. Y'all already know Lil Kenny. Y'all already know Lil Kenny, he was a part of everything that went on they already said that Lil Kenny was the main one who really could have told Yo Gotti and them, yeah, y'all gotta fall back, man, because everybody in this neighborhood cool. If y'all gonna beef, go ahead and beef, but at the end of the day, we not finna be hanging with y'all, then gonna hang with them. Like, y'all gotta really look at it. That's why they said that Big Moochie Great was playing both sides. Y'all gotta really take full initiative to the fact that Key Glock is one of the ones who was with Blac Youngsta. They have multiple songs together. That's why Blac Youngsta came out and said, you know what, Dolph? You feel me? He went in on Dolph all because he knew for a fact that they was rocking with Young Dolph, but they wanted Young Dolph to sign the CMG. Young Dolph wasn't never finna do that. Young Dolph already had his own thing going on, and Young Dolph already knew that too many people was gonna be right there paying attention. This is why they said that Marcus Thorne, he got a close eye on Maurice Hill, all because of Pamela Hill said that Young Dolph came there for her. How's the mother gonna say Young Dolph came there for her? The sister gonna say Young Dolph came there for her, and then next thing you know, Maurice Hill and everybody else who was there, Keosha James, she instantly. Young Dolph came here to just buy cookies. Next thing you know, you hear 100 shots. At the end of the day, man, we know this is a sad situation, and it easily could have been avoided. This is a revolving door. We have to really open our eyes to the fact of what's going on. Dude with the black wife beater.
When the people out there in the streets really found out that Govan got hospitalized after he got out, Moneybagg Yo upped and left. That's why he got out of CMG and dropped his whole new album right now. And one thing you gotta understand is that Big Moochie Great is laying real low, because the word is that on his block on the east side that they raiding over there, and that the Haitians let him know that they seen the black trucks pull up. They pulled up on the side of the road that's in between the sidewalk and the curb, and they sat there and rounded up all the people that was next to the old school cars right there, because they know that them trunks lock up, and when you don't have the keys, that you can't actually get access. So everything that they was hiding back there that was connected to the whole people that pulled up to the restaurant and sent everything, glass broken, all that, and Yo Gotti's cousin. Look, condolences to everybody on both sides, man. We never really wanted anything like this to go down. But when Blac Youngsta snitched on 25 of the CMG shooters, that's when one of the informants got arrested by the feds, because they figured out that Shondell was lying. They released him, and they had to go back and find him because he was identified as the connection to the Makedas driver.
This goes to show you have to be cautious of everybody who played a role in what happened. The way they was standing outside at that gas station, Young Dolph thought they was selling CDs, squares. You gotta really pay attention to this, man, because Young Dolph tipped dude and them the whole time. They was the inside coach, you feel me? They was the informants, man, who real life was telling Big Moochie Great, yeah, man, they finna try to set Dolph up. Next thing you know, the whole white band ride past. They instantly, hold on. The E63, man, y'all already know how that E63 is, man. They pull right out there. Boom, 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 boom. They start blowing at the car. And I told y'all, before they even open the door, from what the examiner report is reading, it's stating that this is the main one who opened the passenger door. That's where the shots came from, the passenger door. Y'all gotta really look at that, because who was driving? I want y'all to tell me. Who was driving?
Exactly. And the only reason Dolph ever even wanted to go to Makedas is before Makedas was built. When Dolph had his first car, he was hustling out his trunk there. You could go back and look at the fact that he had him and Finesse 2 times both went half and half on that Chevy for $3,000, for $33,000. Now that's worth in the Young Dolph Museum, when they go back and actually look at the fact that his collection is what he left for everybody in PRE, including the chains and everything like that. One thing that people gotta understand is the fact that back when Makedas was first opening, Young Dolph came and he was supporting all the people there in the whole neighborhood, because he knows what it was to be a young person in their situation, trying to get it out the mud and everything like that.
They was too turned up, G. I can't even lie. Like, at the end of the day, if y'all from Memphis, throw them Memphis down in the comment section. If y'all from Atlanta, y'all from Amsterdam, throw them Amsterdams in the comment section, man. At the end of the day, we know for a fact, man, it's sad, man, because in all actual reality, Finesse 2 times told Young Dolph, Man, I'll sign to you, but man, I think I'm finna get booked because Moneybagg Yo, he got them people on me. They said Moneybagg Yo was the one who told the ops that Finesse 2-Time had the bumper in the trunk.
Hey, when they seen the wheels turning from the E63, that's when the lady behind the counter jetted. I want y'all to understand the person that came from the manager's office of Makedas stuck up the hammer, and that's when young Dolph brother hit his backpack to assemble the Draco. But it took too long. The kit he got was malfunctioning at the same time that they was blowing shots at Dolph, but he busted back, man. Rest in peace to Dolph. He did not go out like the way that they try to say that he did. He was actually trying to get back. This whole thing happened in the inside of the store. That's when Makedas Raven slipped up. And when the fans went there to question her about it, she didn't actually discuss with Maurice what he said. They never talked amongst each other about what they was gonna say. That's why the information that they was given went against each other. He said he was just pulling up. She said he was just there. So which one is it, man?
She even stated, and I don't understand, why would you give the feds this type of information and say, yeah, my daddy said it was quick, my daddy said it was quick, man. My daddy kept saying it was quick, man. That's all he said, it was quick, man. Them her exact words. In all actuality, 901 Trick or Trade was looking at Maurice when Maurice Hill was looking at Pamela Hill. Y'all gotta really look at that. And I know a lot of people sit back and say, Snoop Man's, he had the Kid and Play haircut. He had the box cut. Y'all gotta understand, these is the same people. They in Memphis right now. And everybody know Castelia, they not playing no games because from what Chop already said, Chop bring the suitcase with him everywhere he go. And I want everybody to really pay attention because this is a revolving door. And we gotta understand the fact that Paper Route Woo, by him having his pants down, that gave him a dead giveaway because when Raven came out, she already said OG Bang Wayne's song. Y'all gotta really pay attention to what's going on because in all actuality, Glorilla, she's looking more suspicious and strange than Paper Route Woo. And Paper Route Woo was the same one who fit the full description from what the examiner's reports is stating. He fit the full description of the person who was right there with the Drake in his hand. They told him to pull his pants up before he even got out the car so that he can be able to bump the Drake.
And when the Fox 13 investigative journalists went to clear that up at Makedas, they trespassed him off the property because he asked them and pressed them on and on over and over again about why they was trying to sell the Dolph cookies at the Castalia market. They got into an argument over that because everybody understands that Paper Route Band Play, the one who made the same song telling them that the music video was gonna be going on, he brought the DJ set up and he was supposed to be one of the first people there, but the fact that Snoop Bands was still live and showed the fact that how could you be live and not answering the phone calls at the same time? And then tried to say that he had his hands tied behind under the drapes. When we looked at the footage, he has the Cartier watch with his phone on with the whole clipper lighter in his hand. He threw the big out because it went out. And Paper Route Chop gave him the other Snoop Dogg lighter, and that's when he told him, hey, don't you have somebody calling your phone? He said, no, I'm on live right now. And that's when Glorilla honked the horn and said, can y'all hurry up because they trying to get down to the music video. She just heard on Facebook that something had just happened to a Memphis rapper.
It's no way that she signed to the ops right after the same person she was just with a couple weeks prior to this even happening to Young Dolph. Ain't no way in the world you just get disconnected from Dolph right after he gets sent up. Next thing you know, you signed to the op. No, CMG already knew what happened. This is why Bread Gang ran in there and did what they did, man. This is why Big Moochie Grape sitting back and don't even want to hang with Paper Route Woo is because he told Paper Route Woo, if you gon' snake anybody, if you gon' backdoor anybody, don't let it be Dolph. Because Paper Route Woo was speaking in third person and didn't want to say what lick they was finna hit the whole time. Glorilla, she was catching hints. She already knew for a fact when he said, hey, we gonna run in there and we just gonna do what we gotta do, hop right back in the car. He gonna have that foreign car out there, but he ain't gonna have no security. This is what raised the red flag and made Glorilla even look at them as if they triple crossing this man. And Glorilla already said that Snoop Bands had his phone in his right hand, and by him being on live, there's no way that Once Chop reached over and reached in the suitcase to grab the other liners up out of there to line his hair, he like, hold on right quick. So I think something going on because they was on his live literally saying like, hey, you know Dolph at the cookie shop, we gonna shoot the video. Next thing you know, upcoming live, he instantly, oh yeah, Dolph got sent up. And y'all already know, when somebody say you got sent up while you on live, you supposed to immediately close your phone, end the live. Y'all know how everybody end the live and call they people. Check on y'all peoples. At the end of the day, we gotta really understand Glorilla, she knew for a fact what went on. And Glorilla friends, they was out there. And I want everybody to really pay attention to what's going on. Her friends know what happened because her friends was right there holding the camera when Dolph took the picture with Glorilla.
And they was right there watching Keosha James's live because you already know Glorilla was roommates with her when she went to college to run cross country. And the fact that the only reason Snoop Bands made Paper Route Chop stop the haircut was because he got the notification on Facebook from the live of Dolph arm out the window. He seen the thumbnail in the picture. That's when he thought that this is the reason why Dolph was calling me. He had to abruptly end the appointment because he knows for a fact that he should have been heading down there and got there way before Marcus Thornton there. If they would have beat Maurice Hill to the cookie shop, everything could have been avoided. One thing that everybody got to recognize is that they tried to sweep everything under the rug. When the people in the laundromat was running away and shaking their head like they couldn't trust the people that they was looking at, that should have been a sign and a signal for them to start interviewing every single person that was right there at the cookie shop, because there's no telling 10, 11, 12 people that was in there and they only caught 3 of them.
Once Maurice Hill walked to the laundromat, do you know, he looked at, and you not finna take no quick glance at Young Dolph car when you know Young Dolph's still up in the cookie shop. Like at the end of the day, we know for a fact that before Young Dolph even failed, Maurice Hill tried to get up out of there because there's no footage showing Maurice Hill pulling up right before it happened. Ain't no way you finna pull up 2-3 minutes right after it happened, or it's no coincidence. And Glorilla, she know for a fact that these the main people who told Govan, there's no way Maurice Hill sitting right there acting like he just pulled up when everybody who was out there, they saw Maurice Hill instantly pull right up right before Straight Drop Him even pulled off. That's why they ain't show you that corner in the footage. Once they showed you the corner up over there where Big Juke was, y'all know where Big Juke was across the street. And I'm gonna give y'all some time to really pay attention to what's going on, because we know for a fact that across the street was the Bentley truck. And y'all know this. R.I.P. Dolph, man, at the end of the day, man, because in all actual reality, on the side, if they would have panned the camera a little bit to the right, over there towards the Family Dollar in that direction, you would have saw Maurice's car parked in a whole nother spot right there in front of Makedas where Young Dolph was laying at. They said that Maurice Hill started blowing out the window, and that's how Young Dolph fell back, and Young Dolph had his back turned. Maurice Hill fell back, that's why Young Dolph's arm was out the window. After Maurice Hill rolled the window down, they said he blew through the car, y'all. Y'all gotta understand, man, in all actual reality, we know that it was a strategic move, because the feds even telling MPD, y'all need to go extradite that man. Y'all need to go check up on that man. Y'all need to go ask that man what happened in that cookie shop on the 17th of November, 2021.
And they didn't tell you about how the fact that Glorilla seen Maurice leaving in the middle of the night of the Lincoln. She's neighbors with everybody in the cookie shop. They all live in Memphis, so everybody already knows that. Before she went and linked up with Snoop and she saw the Lincoln taking off down the street, she could hear the carburetor and the exhaust and him flooring it off. So if Maurice was there, then everything happened on the inside.